What's popping, my lily pops? We're on the road again. Grab your car keys, Metro card, or walking shoes and those reusable grocery bags because we're heading to my local grocery store. Today I'm showing you all what every DIY natural should always make sure that you have in that refrigerator. I'm also going to be getting into the benefits of each item that you see me pick up because I want to make sure that you can make an informed decision on what you need for your hair. My lily pops, pop off. You all know that I'm good at achieving pretty out of pennies, and you see that $1.49 coming around the corner. I'm picking up my avocados. I don't get avocados that are too light green or too dark green. I get about a medium hue, and I make sure that they are firm. I do this because I don't want something that is too soft and is probably, ready for me to use it like today or the next day. I need some longevity with my products. It will be rotten. This is still good to use on my hair. Avocado has fatty acids in it, and it is rich in vitamin E. Vitamin E is great for scalp health and is great for moisturizing the strands of our hair. So how would you incorporate this into your hair routine? Turn it into a hair mask. I highly recommend that at least on a bi-weekly basis, you incorporate some type of an avocado hair mask into your hair routine to ensure that moisture is always there. I have low porosity hair, so majority of the time I'm focusing on moisture as opposed to constantly replenishing protein because my hair is protein sensitive. So I do this and I use a hair mask. Another way to use avocado is to create a leave-in concoction, which I shared with you all on I'm Refreshing, a 6-day-old flexi rod set video that I posted on my channel as well, which I used the avocado hair mask to create some type of a mist so that I could do a cute and quick updo. My lily pops, next item. These price points are bananas. Bananas are so inexpensive but have an extremely poor shelf life. I always get ones that have more of a green hue to them so that I know that they won't rot expeditiously. Still, I always end up buying new ones every week. Banana is rich in a plethora of vitamins in addition to potassium, and it greatly aids with manageability of the hair, ensuring that your natural hair's elasticity is there, and overall frizz. It controls frizz and it controls dandruff. I have hair that it's sometimes hard to keep the definition of my hair, okay? And while I don't mind frizz, at certain times it becomes annoying when I put so much effort into single braids or a twist out or something and I take it out and it's frizzy off rip. Banana has really aided in managing frizz with my hair. And for those naturals out there that deal with dandruff, I know sometimes people with dandruff feel like there's nothing that you can do to alleviate what you're dealing with. And I know it can become very frustrating because it sometimes limits the versatility of hairstyles. I've shared what I've used bananas for in my buy rice water video that I shared with you all when I made an all natural protein treatment. Banana is what I use for that follow-up hydration treatment. So definitely check out that video on my channel. Let's get into my ginger. I have to buy ginger fresh. It is under $2 and I always get like a medium-sized clove which lasts 2 to 3 weeks in the refrigerator. The potency of ginger extract when using for pre-poos is absolutely everything. How do I use this bad boy? I infuse it with aloe vera to create a pre-poo treatment that I use on a monthly basis. I do not incorporate this into weekly pre-poos. Ginger has anti-inflammatory properties. So again, if you have dandruff, this is great for you because ginger is great for scalp health. And when I say the scalp, ginger also does an excellent job of activating and stimulating those hair follicles. So that's working towards the hair growth to make sure that those follicles are always working. They're always moving, progressing towards something. Ginger is very potent. It has a strong smell. I like stronger smells, but I'm a bit weird when it comes to that type of stuff. So I definitely say start off with a smaller amount of the extract that you use from this once you grate it down and then strain it to overall see how you feel about the scent and then see how your scalp reacts to it as well. Check out my 7 reasons why your natural hair isn't growing video on my channel. I posted that a few weeks ago. At the start of that video, probably, you could watch for about 3.5-4 minutes. I show exactly what I do to create the pre-poo treatment using ginger. I said it's green light when I stretch them. I'm over by my greens because I'm looking for my good old rosemary, which I like to buy fresh. Rosemary is something that helps with the shelf life of a lot of the pre-poo treatments that I make, and can also be infused with olive oil to get rosemary oil. Gotta get over it. Rosemary has antibacterial properties, so if you're making any type of a DIY cleanser, use this baby. I have a DIY clarifying shampoo video on my channel that the primary ingredient was hibiscus. I didn't use rosemary, instead I used tea tree oil, but if you wanted to swap rosemary out for the tea tree oil, you could definitely do that. So you should check out that. But rosemary is something that I add into every DIY, either rosemary or aloe vera, after I've created it, so it can last at least 2 weeks in the refrigerator or in the freezer, depending on where I need to store it. Rosemary helps with slowing down oxidation. So although I said before that it helps with preserving the DIYs, I don't want you to think that if you dump a tub of this, something's gonna last you for months and months. But what you'll see, like with creating the avocado hair mask, is that once you first create it, it's like this bright, vibrant green. And then after about a week in the refrigerator, it turns to a lighter khaki-ish brown. It's not rotten, but oxidation has happened. So that color has changed, and rosemary makes sure that it does not go rotten in that time frame. Super fun fact, majority of the products that my hair absolutely loves are products that my taste buds cannot stand. That is so weird. I cannot emphasize enough how much honey is the glue to majority of DIYs. Honestly, I don't have a song, I don't need an introduction. Let's just get into the benefits. DIY. Honey is that thing that holds the DIYs together and ultimately really helps with adding that natural luster to your hair. I'm talking about shine. While I always preach that aesthetics are not everything, it sometimes is disheartening to do a style and your hair, it's like not glistening, it doesn't look vibrant, hair looking kind of dead, even though you have the most defined twist out. That natural luster always adds a boost. I always incorporate honeys into my DIYs. It holds everything together and makes sure that my hair is not only strengthened but also looks like it's flourishing as well. So I definitely recommend that you should always have honey in your refrigerator. I keep mine in the refrigerator, but in your cabinet, make sure you have it. That's it. Perfect time for a quick side note. Flour. Flour is always something that you should have in the house as well. In addition to it being great for baking, it is a natural additive that you can put into any DIY that you create to get your desired consistency. One of the reasons that I didn't used to do DIYs a few years ago is because I just thought that convenience-wise, I don't have time for that. Let me just buy a product. And also the fact that it gets messy. Flour is something that you can add into a DIY product that you created to make sure that it has a thicker consistency. So if you want something to be less watery and more pasty, add flour. Add it gradually. And I always keep at least 1 can of coconut milk stored because this hair occasionally needs a natural form of protein. Instead of the coconut milk, you can also have actual shredded coconut. Is rich in something called lauric acid, which helps with, scalp health and strengthening your hair strands. But if not used with caution, this can put you on the other end of hair goals, okay? I feel like the natural hair community, we stood in solidarity when everyone was going crazy about the benefits of coconut oil. Then coconut oil started destroying everyone's hair and drying it out at the same time, and that has maintained for my hair. Because coconut helps with strengthening the hair strands, it can serve as a form of a strengthening protein ingredient. I use this in moderation. Moderation meaning 2 tablespoons when I am doing my every 2-month protein treatment. I want to show you guys. So for example, when I'm using DIYs that have hibiscus in it, if you don't want to buy actual hibiscus leaves, you can opt to getting hibiscus tea and just using the tea as a form of the extract. Also the same thing for ginger and green tea While it pains me a bit to share that because I heavily encourage the use of fresher products if that is attainable for you, I understand that. One, people don't always find the fresher products to be convenient, and then also when it comes down to price point, it may make more sense to buy things that are already packaged. Same thing with rosemary oil. I would not buy it, and you guys have seen it in a previous video. I will simply use a bit of olive oil as a carrier oil, then infuse the real rosemary leaves into it to get that rosemary oil. It saves a lot of money, and I'm using fresher products. Listen, the main point here is all oils are not created equally. I'm not gonna go in too deep with porosity because that is a separate video that I have in the works. But overall, have you ever encountered someone and you're asking them about the things that they use on their hair and they share it with you and you try those same things and you don't get the same results? A lot of the time it's because our hair is not the same. I emphasize this in one of my 7 reasons why your hair is not growing videos. And I talked about how a lot of the time we focus on hair type in the sense of hair grade, about I'm 4A, 4B, 4C, and don't actually focus on hair porosity. And how your hair actually accepts oils greatly relies on your hair's porosity. I have low po hair, so jojoba oil, my hair eats it up. I love tea tree oil. Avocado oil is great, and I recently started using almond oil. I have low po hair. I know the 3 things that I could not find at the grocery store that had me so irritated, because I don't do grocery store hopping. So if I go somewhere and what I'm looking for is not there, it's not there unless I'm in a time crunch and I promised that I was bringing something somewhere and I have to get an ingredient. But those 3 things were aloe, low-fat plain Wegmans brand yogurt, because I like to save my coin, and then flaxseed. So for the aloe is very great with moisturizing your hair and is always the staple ingredient majority of the time that I'm using for my pre-poo treatments. Then the second thing, the low-fat plain yogurt. So this is majority of the time the base of hair masks that I'm making. So I will use the yogurt, and then later on I'll add like the primary ingredient that's going to provide the actual nutrients to my hair. I know some people are comfortable with using expired yogurt on their hair. I am here to tell you all, my lily pops, that if you ever see me or hear me say that I'm using expired yogurt, I've lost it. It's a clone. Click off. It's not me. Report the page. I just don't know what to tell you. I even have a video on my channel showing how to make the DIY flaxseed gel, where I also did a 3-strand twist out, so you all can check that out. And flaxseed is just my alternative to using store-bought gel. If you like the extremely slick look, flaxseed gel is not for you. It provides more of a natural slick so that everything's in place, but it's not molding to your hair, if that makes sense. Those 10 items are, let's try to do this based off memory, but if not, I have a list: avocado, banana, ginger, rosemary, coconut oil, oils, aloe, flaxseed, yogurt, flour, and the bonus item that I shared with you all was the teas, because again, I say I prefer the use of fresh ingredients, but if you need to use the teas, I definitely understand. So overall, I shared 11 things that every DIY natural should have in the fridge and you can grab from your grocery store. We'll reconvene every once in a while after I've shared a good amount of DIYs, just to reshare with you all the things that I'm picking up and what their actual benefits are. Also, I did not include sweet potatoes potatoes in this video. The reason being is that sweet potato is not something that I use all of the time, and it's something that I have started using more recently. Once I get to the point that I'm fully comfortable with sweet potato and I'm fully knowledgeable on all of the benefits that it's provided to my hair, I will reshare that in the next video if sweet potato makes the cut. My lily pops off.